My parents skipped my MIT graduation to watch my sister's ballet recital, and that was the day I finally cut them out of my life. When my cousin's Facebook post about the ceremony went viral in our small Ohio town, my mom's phone blew up with messages from her church friends. My dad stopped speaking to her for a week. My sister threw a fit online that only made her look worse. The family fell apart, and for once, I didn't try to fix it. I'm Noah, 26, a software engineer in Boston. Everything I have, I built from scratch, no help from them. Growing up, I was the quiet one fading into the background while my sister, Ava, 19, twirled her way into the spotlight. She's been Henricing since she was 5. And yeah, she's talented. By high school, she was getting lead roles in regional productions. But for my mom, Linda, 50, and my dad, David, 52, Ava's talent became their entire personality. It was like I stopped existing the moment she learned to point her toes. When I was a kid, it wasn't all bad. Mom helped me with math homework and pinned my science fair ribbons to the fridge. Dad used to take me fishing on weekends. Just the two of us talking about nothing that really mattered. But when Ava came along, everything shifted. By the time she was 10, Mom had turned full-stage mom, scheduling her life around rehearsals, competitions, and recitals. Dad didn't fight it, he just went along like always. Meanwhile, my own accomplishments, National Merit Scholar, debate team captain, barely earned a nod before Mom pivoted to Ava's next big performance. Then came the money. My parents drained the college fund my late grandma Eleanor had set up for me, using it to pay for Ava's private ballet lessons and costumes. They called it family priorities. I found out in high school when I overheard Mom telling a neighbor the fund was mostly gone because ballet's expensive. I worked 2 jobs, tutoring and bagging groceries, to cover what scholarships didn't. Ava, on the other hand, got a shiny new red Honda for her 16th birthday. I drove an old Corolla I bought myself. The only one who ever said the T. Eleanor out loud was Grandpa Henry, my dad's father. He lived 4 hours away in upstate New York, but he called every Sunday to ask about my coding projects or MIT applications. Once at Thanksgiving, he told Mom straight up she was neglecting me. She brushed it off, said I was independent, that I didn't need the attention. Grandpa didn't buy it. He sent me $200 for my 18th birthday with a note. For the kid who's going to change the world. Don't let them dim your light. That note's still in my desk drawer. I tried for years to win their approval. I thought if I aced my AP classes, got into MIT, landed internships, maybe then they'd notice. When I finally got my acceptance letter, Mom said, "Oh, that's great." Then spent dinner talking about Ava's Nutcracker solo. Dad clapped me on the shoulder and said he was proud, but they didn't even come to my high school graduation. Ava had a dress rehearsal. Grandpa Henry drove down instead. He took me to a diner and said, "You're enough, Noah. Stop chasing people who don't see it." During sophomore year at MIT, I met Julia, my fiancée now. We bonded over late-night coding marathons in the library. She's from a close Boston family that shows up for everything. Every recital, every competition, even small stuff like cousin birthdays. It was strange, at first, seeing what that kind of love looked like. She caught on to my family dynamic early. Once, during junior year, my parents came to Boston for one of Ava's ballet competitions, and never called me. I only found out because Ava posted a selfie with them, captioned family cheering me on. Julia was furious, but I just shrugged. It wasn't anything new. The breaking point came a year later over a stupid Instagram post. Ava uploaded a picture of herself at a gala in a sparkly leotard, captioned, "Chasing dreams while others just chase paychecks. Love you Mom and Dad for always having my back." She tagged me with a winking emoji. It wasn't subtle. She knew I was working that summer at a tech startup. Mom commented, "So proud of my star red heart." Cousins liked it. One, Megan, messaged me privately. That was low. "You okay?" I said I was fine, but something cracked inside me that day. I didn't clap back online. I just focused on school, finishing senior year, juggling capstone projects, interviews, and grad applications. I landed a full-time offer at a Boston tech firm, 6 figures plus stock options. You'd think my parents would finally brag about that. When I told them over Christmas dinner, Mom said, "That's nice, Noah." Then pivoted to Ava's audition tape for a New York ballet company. Dad just nodded. Later, Grandpa called, thrilled. "You're building something real," he said. "Don't let their nonsense stop you." That spring, I started planning my graduation. MIT commencement is a big deal. Caps, gowns, speeches, the whole thing. In March, I texted my parents. Graduation's June 5th. Really want you there. It's a big moment for me. Mom replied. That's the same day as Ava's spring recital. We'll be there cheering her on. Can you send us a video? I just stared at the screen for a long time. Julia asked if I wanted to tell them how much it mattered. I said no, if they cared, they'd have asked. Grandpa Henry booked a hotel immediately. Megan and Aunt Denise said they'd come too. I didn't push my parents further. Part of me hoped they'd realize how important it was. Deep down, I knew they wouldn't. Ava kept posting about her recital. Big day coming up. Family's got my back, she wrote. Mom reshared every post. Dad stayed silent as usual. June 5th came. Julia's family filled the seats, cheering like I was their own. Grandpa Henry showed up in a suit older than me, grinning ear to ear. Megan and Aunt Denise brought flowers. A little embarrassing, but sweet. The ceremony was beautiful. MIT's Killian Court, sunny, packed with proud families. I walked across the stage, grabbed my diploma, and looked out. No mom, no dad, just Julia's parents waving, Grandpa's thumbs up, Megan snapping photos. It hurt, but I wasn't surprised. After the ceremony, we went to a pub nearby. Julia's dad paid for everyone, raising a toast to Noah's big day. Grandpa gave me a small box with a watch inside, engraved, to Noah, from Grandma Eleanor and me. He said Grandma wanted me to have it when I hit a milestone. I didn't cry, but I came close. That night, Julia posted a few photos on Facebook. Me in my cap and gown, smiling with her and Grandpa. Her caption read, "Couldn't be prouder of Noah. MIT grad, self-made and surrounded by people who show up." She didn't mention my parents. She didn't have to. I didn't check my phone much after that. Julia and I went camping in Maine for a week to celebrate. No service, no noise, just the two of us. Felt good to disappear. What I didn't know was that Megan's post was exploding back home. Friends from high school, neighbors, Mom's church group, everyone saw it. By the time we got back, the comment section was a war zone. When I turned my phone on, it nearly crashed from notifications. For a moment, I thought someone had died. Then I saw Megan's post. People were furious. Where were Linda and David? They missed MIT for a Henris recital? Someone from Mom's book club tagged her. Is this true? Mom wrote a long, defensive paragraph. Noah didn't make it clear how important this was. We thought it was just a ceremony. The replies shredded her. You didn't even ask what it was. Another said, my kid graduated community college and I was there. MIT? Really? Mom texted me, first angry. How could you let Megan post that? You're humiliating us. Then desperate. Please call me. Everyone's messaging me about this. Dad left a shaky voicemail. Noah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we messed up. Ava sent a string of texts, real mature. Making Mom cry because you're jealous of me. Pathetic. I didn't reply. Julia read them and said, they don't get to guilt you. This is on them. The next day, Grandpa called. He'd already heard. He drove to Ohio and sat them down in their living room. He told me later he didn't yell, just laid it out. You've spent years pretending Noah doesn't exist. You failed him. Now everyone knows it. Dad just sat there, staring at the floor. Mom tried to defend herself, said Ava's recital was a once-in-a-lifetime event. Grandpa shut her down. And your son's MIT graduation wasn't? A few days later, Dad asked to meet me halfway between Boston and Ohio. Julia said it might help, so I went. He looked exhausted, dark circles, hands trembling slightly. Before I even sat, he started talking. I screwed up, Noah. I should have been there. I let your mom run things because it was easier than fighting. I was wrong. He said he told Mom things had to change or he was done. I'd never heard him talk like that before. He was ashamed, especially after Grandpa's visit. He even brought up the college fund, promising to pay it back, bit by bit. I told him I appreciated it, but trust wouldn't come back overnight. He nodded like he already knew. We ate in silence for a while, just picking at our food. Before he left, he handed me a card with $50 inside. The note said, College Fund, Month 1. It wasn't much, but it was something. Mom wanted to meet next, this time with Dad and Julia present. We met at the same diner. Mom looked wrecked, messy hair, red eyes. She started with, "You should have told us it was a big deal." I cut her off. "I told you it was my graduation. You didn't even ask what it was. You just picked Ava's recital." She broke down crying, saying she thought Ava needed them more because her career was fragile. I told her she didn't support Ava. She obsessed over her and forgot about me. I listed everything: the college fund, the birthdays, the robotics awards. She kept repeating, "I'm sorry," but it felt hollow. Dad said they'd started counseling. I told them I wasn't cutting them off, but I wasn't pretending everything was fine either. They'd have to prove real change. Mom nodded through tears. Dad just looked drained. A week later, Ava texted wanting to meet. We met at a park near my apartment. She showed up in her warm-up gear, annoyed. Said her recital went badly because of the family drama. Blamed me for making it public. I told her the T. Eleanor, "You've spent years rubbing it in. Mom and Dad made their choice and you loved being the favorite." She didn't deny it, just crossed her arms and said, "I didn't ask for this." "Maybe not," I said, "but you didn't mind it either." She asked if we were cool. I said we weren't enemies, but we weren't close either, not now. She walked off without another word. Grandpa called again later, checking in. I told him what happened. He said, "You handled it better than most. You set boundaries without burning bridges. That's strength." Work picked up. My team at the tech firm launched a new app, and I was leading the back end. The rollout went great. My boss hinted at a promotion. Julia and I started saving for a condo, something small, but ours. Life moved forward, even if the family stuff was still tender. Dad kept his promise. Every month, a small Venmo transfer showed up: $130, $50, sometimes $100, labeled college fund. He added notes. Month 2, working on it. Said counseling was helping him speak up more. Mom went a few times but quit. Said it was too hard. She texted apologies here and there, but I told her I didn't want words. I wanted actions. She said she was trying. I didn't hold my breath. Ava's ballet career hit a rough patch. She didn't get into Juilliard and took a gap year. Her Instagram went quiet. Some of her Henris friends even commented on Megan's viral post, teasing that she'd peaked at 19. She texted me once, "People think I'm the villain now." I replied, "That's what happens when you play the favorite too long." She never answered. By fall, things quieted down. Dad visited Boston alone for a weekend. He brought Julia a cookbook she'd mentioned liking and gave me a photo from my high school robotics win, one he'd found in a box. It was the first thoughtful thing he'd given me in years. We talked about work, Grandpa, small things. He said he was proud of me. Felt strange hearing it. But I nodded. Julia and I kept building our life. We went hiking in New Hampshire, started Sunday brunch traditions with her family. Grandpa visited that spring. We took him to a Red Sox game. He used a cane now, but still insisted on climbing the stadium stairs. He told me about his own father, how he had to stand up to him once to earn respect. "You did the same," he said. "You drew a line. They'll either step up or stay behind." A few months later, I posted one photo: me, Julia, and Grandpa at the game, all smiling. The caption was simple: "Built my own team. Grateful for who shows up." No hashtags. No drama. Then I turned off my phone and watched the Boston skyline with Julia beside me. For the first time in years, I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be.